Perfect time.
Yep.
Oh, we have a hard stop of 9 your time, so 8
Okay.
for us.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I think we'll be able to do this by then.
Wow.
Okay, so at the top of the round, we continue. You can see he's angered by your new size and this tactic, and so he raises his hand and does the pulling motion again to conjure down the icicles from the ceiling.
Yeah.
The first one is going to go at Bertie. That is going to hit.
And moi?
Mhm.
Can he even see me?
Sees all.
You're not quite sure.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So that is 8 piercing damage.
Okay, rude.
The second one is going to Alexa, and that is going to hit as well.
I will cast shield this time and bring my AC to a 22.
Ooh.
He rolled
Okay.
a 22.
Fuck!
Oh.
Take 7 piercing damage.
I rolled a 9 plus 3 from the heroism thing from Bless for my constitution on my charm ability, or my command ability.
What about those guys?
That's a concentration for me.
Okay, for the minute as you're...
The whole minute,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so 10 was all you needed, so that's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, and Alexa rolled a 20, so she's
Brian, did I take ice damage at the end of my last turn?
Yes, you would have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That would be 13 cold damage.
Okay.
There is no more Ice Brood Svanir. That brings it to... Oh wait, no, that's only his second attack. I lied.
Too
The
much.
third attack will go at Brenna.
Well. Hey,
Yeah, that's a 13 to hit.
my AC's 13. I don't get an AC boost with enlarge, do I? No. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So that is 6 piercing damage as one of these large icicles. Now that you're bigger, it's harder for them to miss, and one of them just like crashes into your shoulder and shatters.
Does that have?
Yes, because it's just piercing. So that would be 3.
Okay.
Yeah, you just kind of shrug it off.
I'm taking every ounce of it though. It's been a fun challenge of endurance.
No. That brings it to Keytree, and Brenna's on deck.
Get him, Petrie.
Would I have a vague idea where the last wolf standing is based on like noise in the fog?
Yeah, mechanically, you have an idea of where it is. It's just disadvantage to hit it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use I don't know what level. If I use 3rd level ice knife, so it would be that's it's control. There we go. Disadvantage. 3rd level ice knife. 14.
14 hits.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah. Take some piercing damage, I believe.
So then 1d10 piercing. Ooh, 8.
Okay.
And then I need the Pupperino to make a dex saving throw of 16.
Yeah, you watch as, well, I guess you don't see. Yeah. Yeah, you hear it go. Guys,
Cool.
roll your damage.
Oh, like it's taking cold damage? Okay, so then... So it's gonna take... So I'm using it on 3rd level. Okay, so it should have 4d6 worth of cold damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll it.
let's see.
9 cold damage. Not great, but
No, it's... more damage is better than no damage.
and that's the last of my
Does-
3rd levels.
Does cold hurt these things?
If a creature passes its save, do they take half cold damage? Or none?
Each creature within 5 feet must succeed, or so if it succeeds, it doesn't take any cold.
Okay. I made a saving throw for the Tyrannosaurus because it is technically within
thank you.
5 feet, but it made a 19, so it doesn't take any damage.
Sweet. It is very long.
All right, that brings it to.
Oh, no.
I assume you don't move. Is that your turn?
Yeah. To move where these lines are, where the lines are up the grade, is that difficult terrain?
No, it's just stairs.
Okay, so I can move 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I can get all the way up to the top of the mountain, technically.
Okay.
Okay, now I need to have like my token selected. We're just gonna drag her up there. All right, here I am, staring down at Brenna.
Okay.
That was action. Didn't use a bonus action. How does Brenna look?
Hurt.
I'm going to use Bomb of the Summer Core, and she's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 of those puppies. So she gets 4 temporary hit points.
Thank
So she
you.
gets 4d6 worth of healing.
Thank you.
Oh, you get 15 HP.
Ooh,
There
that
you
shit
go,
goes down
man.
real smooth right now. God damn.
Cool. That's about it.
Okay.
Hopefully, I came in clutch.
Speaking of Brenna,
Bruh. Bruh. Okay. In my very, very enlarged form, I kind of look at Alexa and give her a little smile. And I'm gonna try and shove him again with the intention of knocking him prone.
okay.
So this is athletics.
Athletics check.
I have
Sweep the leg, Brenna.
Oh, there it is.
this one. No, you're shitting me.
Really?
For enlarge?
Do you have any bonus for enlarge?
It just gives her advantage.
Advantage again.
Oh,
about
Mechanically,
your-
it's not much than rage.
What about for your hero bonus? Do you get any sort of thing on ability checks?
Saving
Blast?
throws and attack
No.
rolls.
Do I use my bardic inspiration for this?
An ability check?
You can use bardic inspiration for ability checks.
No.
Then yes, you could.
Will I use it?
Hey, it's your die. You do die. No. I go. Can't hurt.
It's either this or the.
No, I'm gonna use
For the
it.
charisma.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it, and we'll fucking
Okay.
let the dice gods. Was 4?
Alright. So you.
29?
What's the 4 from?
Bardic
Uh,
inspiration.
Bardic
Oh, so
Inspiration.
you're gonna go ahead and use it here. Okay. Yeah, for 29. Yeah, he rolled a 27 total. So you top
What?
it.
Asshole.
You reach out and grab him, and you can feel the strength within him belies his size. There is definitely a source of power beyond him that is aiding him, but you manage to lock hands in like a wrestler's grapple and force him down onto one knee. Do you say anything? How are you making your final check?
Do not say it as such. I've got him there by the shoulders. I'm
I
fucking
will give
so
you
much.
advantage on the roll for beating him in this athletics check.
Okay.
Alright,
just-
I should say I'm not giving you advantage on the roll.
Okay.
Lowering the DC based on the system that I've got here. So it's
Okay.
a lower DC than it would be. But you don't get advantage because magic has made you bigger and magic has healed you.
That's true. That's fair. All right. I've got him by the shoulders. I can't be perceived right now, dude. I've got him by the shoulders and I've got him prone. I'm just gonna draw my sword and lift it. And say, Halvar, Wolf teaches us about the strength of the pack. I'm stronger because of my friends. They are stronger because of me. And I am stronger with you. Jormag has forced you to fight alone, but you don't have to. So make your choice. Please come home with me.
Make your
I'll just-
persuasion check.
Leave it in his hands. Nah, dog, I don't want to look.
I would like to, if Abrina will allow for it, I would like to try and use my reaction to enhance her check with my bend luck. It's up. I would say it's up to you if you would like to
I would say
allow
this,
it.
This would not be.
This is the
Chance.
deep wells of fate,
Okay.
brother. There's
Yeah.
nothing to bend here.
Yo, I got a -1 on persuasion. Like, what the fuck? This
Yeah,
is
this
for
is
proof,
just-
though.
Roll the
Okay.
dice
Count
right
the
here.
Dice, man.
That's essentially a 0, you know?
Okay,
Okay,
that's your turn.
that's my turn.
All right.
There we go.
Oh no, I don't know.
Oh,
So the Winter Wolf is gonna continue trying to attack the Tyrannosaur. Does not get its cold breath back. So it's gonna try to bite. That is a 16 to hit. That does not hit.
That hits. The AC is only 13.
Oh.
It was only.
Oh
18
right,
after
because
this
the
time.
shield was still going. Shit, I probably would have hit you with the last one too. Then.
You can add the
Okay,
damage.
so that hits. Let's see some damage. That's 14 piercing damage, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
All right.
T-Rex is pretty strong.
Ooh.
12 does not make it. So this time he manages to grab you
Wow.
right around the calf, and he like
The
tears
Rex
out
is
a bit of the
down.
muscle, yanks you down onto your feet, so you are prone, my friend.
Oof.
I got a little status marker on there for you. It's kind of irrelevant because your token's so huge. And yeah, he will stay where he is. That brings it to Bertie, and Alexa, you're on deck.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk over to this guy, grovel on the ground, and I'm gonna kind of take a knee down by him.
God damn it, Alex.
Here you go.
No.
Now, I don't know who you are, but it's your lucky day, because I'm gonna give you the option to turn around and leave, and if not, you see his wrist. Like, we're gonna have a problem. Now that is a bit of a bluff on my part because I don't have any more charge. I have like one charge left, I think, and I don't want to use it. But
So you hear this wrist rocket start to charge, and it just, instead of a long build up, it's just like it's just like a real brief because it's only a charge. Okay,
but if this guy
that would be an intimidation roll.
yeah, okay,
Now, I will give you advantage because you just used this to pop his friend's head like a grape.
okay, well, we'll see what happens here. 26. Get
Ooh,
out of
it's a
town.
Natural 1.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
There it is.
And what I'll do is if I can hold a command for him to grovel. No, I'm not gonna.
Because that
I'm
would
not
have been
gonna.
your action.
Yeah,
Oh, right, because your
I'm-
bonus action is a.
It's technically my bonus action, but I'm just gonna. I think the message got through. I'm
You
just
see
gonna.
his eyes go wide, and
Uh,
his grip on his spear is released.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna step back, turn around, and walk over next to. Oh, I don't want to be there. I'll walk over next to Alexa.
If he were standing upright, you would see the rapidly freezing damp patch on his crotch.
Oh,
That brings it to Alexa.
good job, Birdie.
Galatar, you're next.
Thanks.
Man, piss.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't really see much of anything, and shit's just kind of chilling. Haha, haha. I am actually going to cast a see invisibility and see if there is anything to be seen.
Okay. And that's not concentration, it just
It
lasts
is
an hour.
not.
Okay.
Do I see anything that all of a sudden jumps out at me? And
As you look around here, you do not see anything invisible.
all right. Yeah, but I think mostly just stay here and wait for
Okay.
resolution.
Galatar and Kala, you're next.
My T-Rex will very wobbly try to stand up because it can't really use its arms to
It's
help
comical,
itself.
but yeah, you're like knocking
Yeah,
the table
very
sideways.
comically like trying to use the table to help with its short arms. And then we'll respond by going right for the throat of the wolf there with a bite attack.
Okay.
Got everything here.
That hits.
Okay. 37 piercing damage. But it's a huge creature, so it's not grappled. But it does hit the 37. Or sorry, it's a large creature.
Right. So yes. So it only works on medium creatures to grapple.
It's medium or smaller, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, you grab into this thing and try to like pick it up, and as you do, your teeth tear huge chunks of fur and flesh off the back of this creature. It is dropped onto all fours, and its legs are all wobbly as it staggers back and forth, bleeding profusely. It is just barely hanging on. It is literally on its last legs.
Okay, and then I will use my movement to take a few steps up if I can. Is that okay? I know that rock thing is kind of there.
Yeah, no, you
my
can
tail
fit
is.
there. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
And that'll end my turn.
All right.
You take
Kala.
full damage.
Oh, I do take full
Oh,
damage.
thank you.
I was gonna.
As long as it's
Tell
below
you
20,
you
I'm
should
still a
get out.
T-Rex.
That is actually 20.
I am no longer a T-Rex.
Are you
boss.
shitting me?
8,
The
7,
shocking
and
tournament.
5. So yeah. Yeah, 12 plus 8 is 20.
Yeah, I would like to
That's
turn back
hilarious.
to a human being, please.
Okay, and then I can restore transformation. Bam!
Do I get to choose which of these 9 squares I go into?
I would say you're right in the middle.
Oh,
Is yeah, the center of the space.
all right.
All right, Kala.
I'm just gonna move here and just hold a dagger for if I see something.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right.
So
So Halvar.
on there.
Held in one hand by Brenna, who's pushed him to his knees, and then who has laid her sword in her other hand across like his shoulder, is looking around wild-eyed. And what was the last thing you said to him?
It was
You
just
remember?
come home.
Come on. There is a moment where his muscles tense, and you fear he is about to leap forward and try to finish you. There is rage. His skin that is still human is flushed with anger. He looks furious, and then the fury changes to helplessness as he says to you, "Can you forgive me?" And he releases his spear of ice, and as he does so, it drops from his grasp, and as soon as it hits the ground, it just shatters. There is a grinding sound behind you as the ice wall just starts to slide towards the ground and disappear. And those of you still in the cloud of frigid fog see it sort of fade and thin until eventually it just dissipates. A gentle wind blows through the cavern and it disappears. do you answer him?
I kind of put the rest the sword on the ground and take my hand off his arm, and I look at Alexa and I say, "Can you make me little again?" Okay. So I shrink back down to normal Brenna size. I'll sit in front of him, kind of eye level, and just say, "I do not know, but I can try." And I'll do my best to give him a little hug. A little hug. But also a lot of relief. It turns into a big hug.
Okay. Let me get rid of some of these drawings. Okay. Yeah. He just kind of goes limp. And as you fold him into your arms, you feel like his entire right side, like his head, his face, is just this massive encrusted ice. It's like it's hard, it's rock solid, like barnacles on a ship, but it's jagged, spiky protrusions of ice, and it sort of glints and glitters in the torchlight. His right arm, part of his chest is covered. You can see it kind of extends down one side of his leg, and as you pull him to you, he is cold, and that side of him is just solid. It's like cold stone. But you feel as you pull him close, he gives, and there is just a release of a tension there. The rest of you see this happening, and the large winter wolf standing in front of you, Galatar, collapses down onto its belly and looks out toward Halvar, panting heavily, blood kind of like streaming from its open mouth. And Halvar says to you, Brenna, at this point, the Svanir that was standing in front of you, Bertie,
So covered in piss.
he just fucking takes off. Like as soon as the wall starts to recede, it would have been about his turn, and he just fucking books it.
I have a reaction.
You do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh wow. Wow.
Halvar is like buried in Brenna's embrace.
Nobody
not
notices.
Like, he's not like looking.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
don't think I had advantage for any reason, so it's not a
You
sneak
do,
attack.
because he is not paying attention. He is fleeing for his
Okay.
life.
Well, bye, dude.
And
Alright,
he
so-
couldn't see you before.
Oh wow.
23 damage.
I think that's it.
No, he makes it like to the edge of the stairs, and this dagger catches him between the shoulder blades, and I would say Galatar and Kala, you just hear as he just falls forward, and there's a brief
jeez.
sort of boom as he slides through the frost for about 2 feet.
What a pity.
Didn't hear it or see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I think the column's in my way.
Yeah.
Let's all call a throw something, I guess, actually.
Yeah. I did see call or something.
And Halvar says to you, Brenna, we have been misled. Dragon. It gives us power. We thought it brought us honor to be stronger than all others. I can see now. We were wrong. Sister, I am so sorry. I don't know how Mama and Papa will ever forgive me. And I would not be surprised if White Bear and the others banish me from the lodge forever. struggles to stand to his feet, and you can see like now that you are this close and really like in his physicality, like he is beat to shit. He is real hurt. A lot of you gather the resilience was a bit of bluster and the adrenaline of combat. Now his rage is gone from him, as is yours. And as he stands, he reaches out with his icy clawed hand towards you, and then kind of like sees the hand and pulls it back, looking at it kind of self-consciously, and sort of like puts it down, and then takes a step closer and reaches out with his human hand and puts his hand on like the side of your face and just says, "But I will be all right wherever I may go, knowing that I still have you."
She just gives him like a big hug again.
You hear him go, and he pats you on the back with his human hand.
She like kind of takes a step back and straightens up. It's like I'm still pissed at you. Like really, really pissed at you, but just come home with us and we will figure everything else out. And if the consequences are dire, then we will handle it. Just live here and do your best to fix what you've done.
Yes. It will be a long road to right all those wrongs. But I will try. I think before I return for judgment, perhaps I will write a letter. One to White Bear, one to our family. And then he sort of like comes to himself and realizes the enormity of the situation, and just says, "It's all right. Hold. I will no longer fight you." He looks around at the devastation and says, "I would call off my men, but it seems you've taken care of that."
Brenna's like, there's one left. Oh, I'm kidding.
I tried.
He turns over your left side, Brenna, and you see him give a little whistle. And you see this winter wolf kind of shakily get to its feet and start limping towards him. It's got a huge like chunk of missing flesh in its back. And it just starts to like very slowly walk in his direction. As he gets over to him, he reaches out and kind of like nuzzles its head with its claws, his clawed icy hand. And you see him close his eyes. And he exhales his breath. And then he opens them. Oh. I suppose I've lost that ability. Seems Dragon has abandoned me. Well, I suppose that is merited. Do any of you possess the ability to heal? Reiki. He starts like petting the wolf.
His name's Frankie.
Freki, like
Freki.
F-R-E, like F-R-E-Y-K-I, like Freki.
Reiki.
Reiki.
Kitri will she'll use man. This
I got stuff left, Kitri.
I can use a yeah, I'm gonna use a 4th level I gotta touch it for that one.
You can
Touch it, touch it.
But if we're all looking pretty bad.
I'll dig in my bag and pull out like
Oh,
regular potion of healing.
yeah, just do that.
I was gonna say
They're
I
so
can
cheap too.
I
I
got
can
spells,
use
huh?
mass cure wounds
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
if
whatever
we
you guys
are
want to do.
all if I can take a minute and like run down there and get us all within like 30 feet.
I think mass cure wounds is you get to pick a point.
Mhm.
A
Within
wave of
range.
healing energy washes from a point of your choice within range. Choose up to 6 creatures in a 30-foot radius.
Right. So a point of your choice within 60 feet, you can choose that point, and it's a 30-foot radius from there.
Yeah.
And
So
30
Oh.
feet is
30
really
foot,
fucking big.
Yeah.
30.
So 1, 2, 3.
But it's only up to
Galahad, where
6
are you?
creatures.
I'm
Yeah.
right
So
here.
anything in that circle up to 6 creatures.
Well, okay.
Damn.
Which is pretty much all of us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Brenna, the wolf, her brother, Galatar. How is Alexa and Birdie? How are you guys
We're by
looking?
tied.
Yeah, we're both pretty hurt, but I can patch this up. I got some stuff. I
Okay,
can-
then I'm gonna
Really shitty.
include Kala and Alexa. So those 6. And then they get 3d8 healing. Oh, 17.
Does that include your plus
Should be
4?
plus your mod.
So 21.
Um,
Yep.
plus your spell casting, yeah, so plus 4.
21.
So 21 points of healing to all of you.
That definitely put me up pretty good.
That's
Are you healing the wolf too?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm healing Halvar and the wolf.
There we go. Okay.
Take my 6 healing.
Pretty- I can
wounds.
take
First is touching himself.
little potion of healing as well, buddy. I
No,
still
it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want it.
okay.
You guys watch as this nasty wound from the tyrannosaur bite on the wolf like closes up, but the hair doesn't regrow. So there's just this patch of like messed up skin that is now closed. And it's still hurt, but it's functional. Able to stand now without wobbling. Halvar looks at all of you and says,
Well, this was educational. This is everyone within the caverns accounted for. What should I do now, Brenna?
I didn't think we'd get this far. I was really worried I'd have to kill you. Oh God.
It was a possibility.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This has been a very stressful couple of months.
Maybe you just take a short rest. You still
Maybe-
look pretty banged up.
Yeah.
I have warm beds nearby for those who are not acclimated to these temperatures. Please, follow me.
First, you're gonna need to drop all your weapons.
he just kind of looks down at himself and he pulls the battle axe from his belt and just tosses it on the ground.
You are welcome to it for the time being.
And that's all he's got.
Does it look like he has any like magic items on him or anything dangerous?
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah.
Fuck, I completely forgot this. Yeah. On the back of his belt, he kind of reaches behind him and unfastens a good-sized war horn.
Oh man.
It is covered with this enchanted ice, like a centimeter thick, like round. The whole thing has just got a sheen of magic ice on it. And he looks at you, Brenna, as he kind of holds it out. And you can see like up until now, he hasn't, like, he's shown exhaustion and shame, but now, for the first time since you've seen him today, tears well up in his eyes. They don't fall. As one of them kind of approaches there, you see it kind of solidify into ice on one of his eyelashes. And he holds the horn out to you and says,
I took this from a village in the high drifts. It belonged to a legendary hunter, the Whisperer, the voice of Jormag. His champion guided me there. This was I should not have done it. Please take this, take it from me. Return it to Holbrack and let them do with it what they will.
Okay. Well, take the horn from him.
alright, I did not make a note to this effect. Okay. Yep. So, yeah, he hands that to you, and those are all the weapons he seems to be carrying.
Okay.
He
I'll
sort of
take-
looks up at the ledge at you, Colin,
Yeah.
and just like kind of raises his hands, like that's it.
I'll go down and take the axe, pick up my daggers, grab any other weapons that I think will fit in the bag of holding.
Is there anything anybody wants to do in this chamber before following him? He kind of turns back towards the throne and gestures down to the southeast of the room.
Yeah, I've got some questions about the fucking decor going on.
Yeah, I want to look at the throne room. I want to look at whatever is going on behind here.
I'm sticking close to him though, out of obligation and suspicion and
Absolutely. So he kind of heads back this way, just kind of stops and waits. And the wolf, I will say, goes with him.
yay. Well,
Those of you, if you want to move around and kind of explore the chamber a little bit, feel free. There are no traps in this room. Brenna, as you kind of come up and look, the throne itself is carved from mountain stone. Behind it, in this sort of semicircle of stone pillar that supports the ceiling, there is an enormous ice carving of a dragon's head. You know, it's about 5 feet wide and 5 feet tall. It's just kind of open, its jaws, long teeth. And Halvar just points to it and says,
The sons, they put this here to honor dragon. Sometimes I swear you could hear it whispering through the statue.
On that, I will do detect magic, and just
Okay.
look around the area and see if anything pops up.
the braziers are enchanted.
That tracks.
the little spiky guys here, are those light sources or
Yeah, those are the braziers
oh,
magic.
with
cool.
with blue flame.
Oh, cool. I thought it was like a spiky wheel. I don't know.
Alexa, you can just barely see around the corner of this
Yes.
throne stone ring. There's a small area behind the throne that just has stacks of barrels. Several of them have been tapped, and you can see like bits of frozen ale just dangling from the spouts and the spigots.
Is there anything in here? In this area, I have to go in there to grab a dagger that I threw.
As you enter that space, I will put your token over here. You enter. Let's see, where's my notes here? It's a small little cavern strewn with pots, pans, barrels, other odds and ends. there is a passage northward that is pitch dark,
Mm.
and there is a boulder to the southeast blocking
Ooh.
another passage. As you leave the main chamber and head there, Halvar calls out and just says,
Be careful. Do not move the boulder in that passage.
Do I hear anything?
no, it's completely silent.
What's out there?
Does behind
Don't
the building.
see anything.
What's behind the boulder?
Kala, you see a couple of crates against the
Mm.
far wall. It's a kind of a long cavern that winds back and forth. Other than that, you don't really see anything. It's just kind of bare floor between you and there. Brenna, if you ask about the boulder, Halvar just says, and Kala, you don't hear this because you're too far away at this point. He just says kind of in a low voice,
There are little ice creatures that nest in the ceiling of the passage beyond. We keep the boulder there to keep them from messing with the stores.
Does anything here look interesting? Worth anything?
you take some time to kind of sift through it because there's a bunch of like closed ceramic jars and stuff like that, right? Most of it is just filled with like dried grains and other like non-perishable foodstuffs, frozen meats that are just like covered in frost. But you do tip over one and you hear like a little like a tinkling sound against the ceramic, and as you take the lid off, you find it is full of tiny little gemstones.
Yeah, I take that.
There are about 40 of them.
Okay.
Is this like where Kala is or where I'm at? What's up here?
Where are you?
I'm here.
Okay, so yeah, no, I'm over here.
So Alexa goes through the northern, into the large forge area. There you find, let's see. Shit, did I not make notes about that? You find that it is a forge. There are chests and crates and barrels and things there that hold bits of like raw iron ore, still in like stony rocky form. Some of them hold kind of sloppily made ingots. There are daggers and like short swords and like throwing axes and things like that kind of piled in some of them. Some have thick kind of tanned leather hides, not quite ready to be sewn into armor, but ready to be further treated and prepared, things like that.
Nothing worthwhile though, really.
Nothing. You've still got detect magic up. Nothing pings your magic radar, and nothing looks particularly ornate. It's fairly basic.
Cool deal.
All solid and usable, but nothing outstanding.
Right. Nothing special.
Kala, did you go into the passage north of that?
No.
Or did you just look? Okay.
Yeah, I just
Cool.
looked and came back. So, there are
It
other
did
rooms
stink
up
like
there,
Norn.
but I didn't go.
You want to?
I feel like we should probably check everything out.
Halvar says,
The northern passage is a sleeping quarters for the lower ranking members.
Oh, yeah, they won't have anything valuable.
Does he seem like he's being honest
Make an
about
insight
everything
check.
he's saying? Okay. $16.
Seems to have no reason to lie. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be inflecting at all. He's just matter-of-factly stating things. As you all kind of come back together in this space, he just says,
Well, if you are in need of rest, we do have more comfortable quarters than these. This way, please.
Wolf kind of moves out of the way and he goes down to the southeast.
Before I leave the chamber, I want to take just a minute and launch a javelin through the mouth of the ice dragon statue.
Sure. we'll say just in your anger, it's a huge target. You just sink it, 6 inches deep into the back of the throat, and it's just sticking out of the open mouth now.
I'll just nod and leave.
Pretty good.
Make
Choke on it.
a wisdom saving throw.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
But I'm not wise. 14?
As you do this, you walk away feeling kind of smug. You hear a whisper in your mind. And just says, "You have taken my champion. I will not forget this."
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, he leads you guys to the southeast. If you want to kind of move your tokens to follow, I think you can. He kind of like starts giving you the mild tour. Like, he's really awkward. He tells the wolf to sit and stay, and he just kind of like curls up where he is to go to sleep. But as Halvar comes back through this passage, you see there's another large boulder that he just kind of pushes into the chamber beyond. There is a opening to the west that is just a narrow kind of alcove, and he sort of gestures offhandedly to that and just says, "This is the trophy room." And you can see that this kind of empty cavern is outfitted as like a display room. There are pelts and skins hanging from short sections of walls along the north side. So like right above Alexa, there's a stretch of rock. Sorry, right above Halvar. It's covered with skins and stuff. The wall to the south where the big brazier is giving a lot of light, it's dotted with a bunch of like taxidermy heads. There are bears, wolves. There's actually an alpine minotaur, which you guys have seen before. There is a particularly large Dolyak skull. So it's like a big elephantine skull with massive horns curled out forward. And what looks like a stuffed catfish the size of a large dog. I guess it's a fairly impressive. There's a saber-toothed tiger head, and there's a pair of elk horns that are like 10 feet wide. It's pretty big. The narrower kind of alcove off to the west has on its walls, rather than skins and trophies, an array of weapons that are just hanging on decorative pegs in various order. There's what looks like a short bow crafted from some kind of horn. There is a heavy metal-plated crossbow. There are 2 shields that look like they're made from overlapping scales. There are a couple of spears, and 2 longswords that look not like Norn craftsmanship. Yeah.
Where is this?
Any of them
That's
magical?
over here.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, you see several of them have an aura of magic about them.
Ooh.
I will point it out, yeah. Say those ones are kind of lighting up a little extra. Which ones am I pointing at?
The 2 longswords, which kind of they look more human make in their style. Each of them has a large gem in the center of the crossbar. The short bow has a very faint but slight magical aura to it, as well as the crossbow, and both of the shields. It's faint. It's not very strong, but
yeah.
Slightly magical.
I pretty much just grab it all. If I can carry it all.
Yeah, Halvar just starts walking through the room and is just like, "This is trophy room," and continues on.
Kala's like,
Kala
my
walks over
trophy
and goes,
room.
"All right." He starts taking them off the walls. You see him kind of look over his shoulder, and he looks at you, Brenna, and he just goes, "Eh."
Boils of water, baby.
He puts his human arm around your shoulder and he gestures eastward, there's 2 raised steps that go into a higher level chamber where more light is coming from, and he points and says,
All the real valuables are in the treasury.
and he makes his way in
Hey,
there.
Louis!
Leave a room in there.
Okay, Bertie!
I'm already in here, no worries.
So he kind of stops. I'm going to put him in this doorway. Sort of stops in this door, and he gestures with his clawed, icy hand to the north.
He says, Through this passage you will find the sleeping quarters for myself and my officers. The higher ranking of the Sons, the Ice Brood, as you people have started to call them. There are 4 very comfortable beds and 1 very large. If you would like, please make yourselves at home. There are sleeping furs. There are some supplies, and you are welcome to whatever you find. I have no need of this any longer.
Baller.
Behind me is the treasury. I reserve only what is in the great chest. It is my personal collection.
And he steps into the room and kind of gives you the dime tour. There are tapestries all around the room on all the different surfaces, or on all the walls. One of them is kind of strung between a stone column in the center of the space and a wall housing the brazier on the north side. There's a long wooden table, and on that table is a big parchment that's
Birdie's dancing on.
a crudely drawn map of Tyria, or at least of the lands from the Char homelands off to the Asuran territory.
He walks through and just says, This is the war room and treasury. Here is where we met with representatives of the other Sons enclaves. I was in command here. It was my responsibility to lead the charge against Holbrak, to bring the Norn into service, so that the dragon could command us and lead us in the fight against its siblings.
Halvar, you know we're going to have a discussion about the remaining chapters of the Sons.
I will tell the Wolfborn whatever they need to know. And also I hear you are part of some sort of cooperative security force or something? I don't... My men were not the most... And he looks like really ashamed. The most intelligent, so gathering information has been difficult.
No, you're spot on. We are a part of cooperative security force. That's what we call Bertie, security man. Bertie.
And I'll say, this may be out of line, given the recent developments, but I would also posit that you have seen firsthand the effectiveness which with the Trollskull Six operates. So I'm just going to leave this here, and he just takes out a business card and just puts it on the table, just in case you ever find yourself in need of service.
He
look like
gives
a
you a
cross
strange
baby.
look, and just
Very well.
Hi, I'm Bertie the Bard. Pleasure to meet you. We've actually met several times in your dreams.
have you met him?
No, I haven't. I was a dragon, green eyes. So I did a little, and then you're it's kind of a little mix up there.
You weren't in the dreams.
One time.
No, I was in
time.
the one as a
You did the one?
nightmare
Okay.
as the dragon.
Yes.
The
One time.
Jormag
I was a dragon with green eyes, so I'd look a little different now.
Kind of like leans down into your space a little, puts out his clawed, icy hand.
Halvar Eriksson, called Frostmantle.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, and I'll shake his hand.
He grips your hand firmly.
I will say I do the thing with your hand where it's like you don't put your whole hand in. It's just like the
like
up to the nug. Yeah, I'm like.
You see, like he takes it in like 3 of his fingers and pulls you towards him, like grabs your wrist in the gladiator style, and I imagine your wrist just like flailing around. But he grabs you firmly, locks eyes with you for a moment.
That was useful trick. I had to change when I slept after that. Very inconvenient.
That's kind of my my purview is useful tricks.
And inconvenience.
Guilty.
Maybe just
Anyway.
go look there.
Please, behind the curtain or come around the pillar, you can see what we have gathered.
And he behind the pillar, you can actually kind of push through the curtain there. I think your tokens can actually move through it if you push it. It's an ethereal wall. Yeah, so there's just a stack of crates on the north wall, kind of like stacked on top of each other in a little alcove. And then he kneels down in front of there's this big chest right behind the pillar. And he kind of withdraws from a little pouch hidden inside his belt, a small iron key.
He says, "Stand back, just in case. The chest is trapped."
And he puts the key in. And as he turns it, you hear like a series of... And then he lifts it open.
It's okay, it's alright.
I am watching him super carefully in case he tries anything weird.
Okay.
I am starting to rifle through boxes, completely trusting.
I'm not gonna go in the treasury, but I am gonna get out the like one journal I have and start taking extensive notes of whatever's on that battle map.
Okay.
Just
It doesn't have any markers on it right now. It's just a map of Tyria, and it's got like labels of... Yeah, they didn't write down where their bases were.
Okay. I'm gonna take the map anyway.
Okay. So. It'll be up to you guys how you divvy this up. In the crates.
Oh boy.
Several of them have, like, they're stocked, they're packed to the brim with little canvas pouches full of money. There are 4,500 copper pieces, 2,700 silver pieces, and 1,800 gold pieces.
I think we should give at least some of this back to some of the people maybe who have been affected by the Sons of Svanir's actions.
Well, you are free to do that with your share, is what you mean to say.
He kind of sighs a little bit, and Halvar says,
Yes, we took no prisoners.
Yeah, you
sadly.
guys are the only ones that do that with the prisoner thing.
Now, Carla, to be fair, I did try to let that one gentleman leave.
And we did not take names, so I could not tell you who this came from.
Right. So really, there's no point.
But there's still the people of Holbreck.
Well, they seem to be doing all right, though.
there is also, just kind of scattered around through these crates, there is a silver ewer, like a silver pitcher. There is, in one, it appears to be a crate that was taken from a caravan hauling Canthan goods. It's sort of like an Asian themed country far to the southwest, very, very far away. And inside this crate there is a silk kimono with koi fish embroidered in gold.
God damn it.
Dibs. I call dibs.
Is it like a full length?
It is a properly fitted.
Yep, that's Birdie's.
Silk.
Boo.
There are 8 very ornately carved copper chalices with silver filigree. There is a large gold bracelet engraved with geometric symbols, and within those symbols are set amethysts. There is a golden comb in the likeness of a serpentine, like Eastern style dragon with small rubies for eyes. And there is a leather satchel with 4 vials of colored liquid. And Alexa, these ping your radar as magical.
Okay. Of course, I was going to ask if anything was magical.
And in the time, if you guys are going to rest, just taking a taste identifies them. One is a potion of climbing. One is a potion of diminution. Makes you shrink. One is a potion of vitality. And one is a potion of gaseous form.
Birdie gets that one.
Alex gets that one.
It takes you several minutes. Like you're probably here for about a half an hour, kind of combing through all this, setting things aside, taking down, notes of what you've got. And as you guys are doing that, every now and then Halvar is talking, saying like, we got that from this. It's been about 6 months. I wasn't sure what to do with it. Kind of telling you where some of this stuff came from, but he didn't know anybody's names or who people were. And there is this growing sense of shame. Like his sentences become shorter and more clipped. But he is looking more and more troubled. Let's see. As he starts to go through his chest, the first thing he pulls out is a rolled up piece of parchment, about 2.5 feet long, and he kind of sets it on the edge of the chest and rolls it out a little bit, and says to you, Brenna,
This is a detailed map of the lands between here and Holbreck. This will help you find your way home safely. Most Norn don't travel this far, and if they do, they're relying on their own navigational skills. I had this made one of the less intelligent among us.
Probably a good call.
he kind of leans in and whispers,
We lost a couple patrols. It was really quite embarrassing.
Yeah, buddy, I kind of talked you guys up big time, and this was kind of.
Well, the Ice Brood are formidable warriors.
He then
Popsicles.
lifts out it very carefully a larger glass bottle with a cork stopper full of a luminescent red liquid. Most of you at this point, I would say, can recognize this on sight as a healing potion, but it's fairly large. It's kind of a round bottom, which is unusual in the size and shape of these. He sets that very carefully down on the ground.
This was very special. Cost very much money.
He then reaches in and withdraws a small leather pouch about the size of like a deck of playing cards. It's not the deck.
Really?
He kind of unfolds it a little bit and reaches in, and he pulls out what looks like a ring of carved enchanted ice. It looks very much like the ice of his clawed hand that is holding it, and it's shaped to look like a dragon that is swallowing its tail. As you look at this, Brenna, the eyes are glowing ever so faintly. And Alexa, as you kind of look over to see what's going on, this pings your magic sense.
He says, I don't know if you would want this, but it was something given to me as a temptation, a taste of the power to come.
He just hands it to you.
It builds with you a kinship with the cold. with the ice. But I have no need of this anymore. These are what I want. And he reaches down again and he pulls out almost like a gunslinger belt, but on each side are little leather holsters or sheaths, little leather sheaths with a pair of matching daggers. And on the hilt of the daggers, there are these intricate knotwork patterns kind of acid etched onto the blades. But the crossbars, one says in Old Nordic, and you recognize these daggers. One says sword, the other says shield, which, if you speak the words aloud in Old Norn, are Brenna and Halvar.
You can have those back later.
He holds them in his hands and he turns to look at you and just says,
With respect, you will take these from my cold, dead hands.
and he just sort of like folds them on top of each other and holds them in one hand and then reaches down into the chest again. Just like completely ignoring you after that point.
Easy, everybody. I don't want to have
Yeah,
to break out.
Like
calm
my hands are on
motion.
my swords, and
It's
I'm
all
like,
right. Hey,
yeah.
I think he's all right, Carla. I'm not getting the stabby vibe.
I just kind of rest my hand on Kala's forearm and just say, "You're right," but later.
He reaches down and the last thing he withdraws is a fine oblong wooden box. It's about 2 feet long, about 8 inches deep, and 8 inches wide. The lid, Brenna, Kala, you can see is engraved with a series of gold-plated cartouches, surrounded at the edges by like a stylized papyrus, and the plant carvings are inlaid with lapis lazuli, malachite, and carnelian gems. The sides of the box are engraved with scenes of desert sand dunes, palms, and distant small pyramids. Birdie, you see this and you instantly know that it's the box alone is worth a pretty penny. Like it's a nice box and it looks very old. Galatar, what are you doing during all this time?
Galatar has been going around to the corpses and closing their eyes, and for each corpse saying a prayer to Cormyr, that they would be more knowledgeable in their next life so they don't fall for the trickery of such a cruel being as Jormag. So he's just kind of been taking his time to do that for each body.
Okay, take a point of inspiration.
Yes.
All right, so you are not in this room. Okay, and that is the end of that box. So he just kind of like holds that out to whoever wants to take the box.
Is it magical?
From this box, it does not ping your sense. No.
I'll take it and hand it to Birdie.
Okay.
Oh, I'll open the box.
So inside
Make
it's
a
not locked.
dexterity saving throw.
It is not locked, and
There's
inside,
a dead snake in here. What is this?
Eat it.
as you open it, he's like, "No, be very careful. It's very old. We could not use these, but my hope was to find someone to sell them to eventually." And inside, you see that there are several very old papyrus scrolls.
It's just paper. I close the box.
Each one is wrapped with time-worn silk ribbon and sealed with purple wax.
It's essentially worthless. I wouldn't.
I thought
Yeah.
you really had a thing for fancy paper.
No, there's already sealed. There's stuff on it. Like
Oh.
you can't print anything on them. Like
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
big-
Maybe
yeah.
maybe Galatar will look at them. I don't know. I do want the kimono. I do want the silver ewer. I have an end table. It's gonna look great on. The comb, obviously mine. None of it. I guess Carla, if you really need it, I would understand.
Yeah.
I just use my claws most of the
Right,
time.
but here's a comb, and I'm saying like you could, if you told me you were going to use it,
Yeah.
I would let you have it.
I mean, spring is coming. I'm gonna shed, so maybe, yeah.
I think that would be good. You never know. Yeah, I think that could be great. Yeah, you can have the comb.
I'll take the comb.
Okay. All right, so Halvar stands, and he's just kind of holding the daggers in his hand. He hasn't like put them on or anything. And he says, "You are welcome to stay in here, but I think I'm going to lie down for a bit. I understand if you post a watch, you've no reason to trust me." And he pulls aside the curtain to the northeast here, and you see that there is a small, narrow passage that quickly rises into steps. And he says, "If you follow this, it will take some time, about 10-15 minutes of walking, but eventually it will empty out into the nearby hills. Just a different way out, should you need one." And then he turns and begins to walk towards the sleeping quarters.
Rena, I was thinking we could take these copper chalices and make Ascalonian mules at the tavern.
What is Ascalonian mule?
You've never had an Ascalonian mule. It's a beverage. You take ginger beer and add vodka, and with a little squirt of lime.
What is vodka?
Oh, you're gonna love vodka.
Yeah, what were all those little trinkets and things in the box? I'm assuming they were all worth.
Yes, they are worth stuff. So the ewer is worth 25 gold.
Well, that's going on my end table, so yeah.
The kimono is worth 250.
Well, that would be going on my body.
Yeah.
The chalices are worth 75 each.
Ooh,
How many were there? There were 8.
8.
Yeah. Damn.
The gold bracelet is worth 250.
That was like an Azuran bracelet kind of thing, wasn't it?
It's hard to tell who crafted it, but it's certainly appealing to Azura. It is
That's
geometric
what
in symbol. Yeah.
I suppose I meant. Yes, thank you.
The golden comb with the rubies is worth 750 to the right seller.
Damn.
You'd have to find someone not only who could afford it, but who would appreciate the rarity of such an object.
You know, it will serve Carl like for years to come. Hopefully, we can only hope.
Yeah. The box you gather seems pretty rare, pretty unique, but you're not sure how much it would be worth.
While we're all kind of like standing around looking at this hood rat shit. Okay, I do want to bring this up, and I don't want to rain on anyone's parade because I do know how much we all love shiny things, but I would like to portion the majority of the gold and coin as reparations for the people of the Shepherd Peaks who have been literally killed by the shit that my brother has pulled, as well as his friends. You can keep them on.
But they were killed is the thing.
They were killed.
So who do the reparations go to?
The people of the
Also dead were
village.
Hold no prisoners thing. So
In an attempt to rebuild villages and hostels and relocate refugees that have fled.
there are no refugees as far as we're aware.
The Great Lodge. It is maybe, might be a nice thing to do.
Well, I'll say this: you can pry the kimono out of my cold, dead hands. So
Let's go back. No, you can have kimono. I do not think anyone wants it after you've worn it.
I don't know what you could possibly mean by that.
We can divvy it up as we all see fit, but that is my proposal. But I do want to say thank you for being here and helping, because I did not think I could have done this alone.
You always have our back, Brenna, so why wouldn't we have yours?
Thank you, Alexa. It was cool that you made me super big.
Little interference is sometimes a good thing.
I wasn't mad. It kind of came in clutch, frankly.
Right. Galatar, I assume, at some point rejoins the party.
So, yeah.
Oh, good.
My fault.
You-
Um,
I'll move your token down just to
thank you.
reveal these rooms. Have you already been back here with your token?
I have not, no.
Okay.
My token has only been up where we were fighting.
It's being jerky for me.
Oh, there we go. I didn't even know which way everybody went.
Yep.
Okay.
Some of this, some of this. If you have plenty of time to come in and see all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
There's some spell scrolls.
Yeah, I'd be happy to take a look at the scrolls.
There you go.
Birdie has them.
Ah,
Yeah, there's some, I don't know, old paper. It seems up your alley, Galatar, if you want to
oh, that's a lovely kimono, by the way.
smell it or whatever you do
Very much your
with old
style.
paper.
Where'd you get the kimono? Beautiful.
The kimono is very nice.
very much your
Stolen
style.
from somebody who's now deceased, but you know, fits great. So
I guess there are positives among all the tragedy.
I see only positives here.
Looking through the spell scrolls, am I able to tell what they are?
Yes. Yeah. So actually, these are interesting.
Ooh.
As you look at this box, so like at the top of this box is like gold inlaid Egyptian style cartouches.
Uh-huh.
For those of you who don't know what a cartouche is, it's the ovular shape with hieroglyphics down the center. They use them for like proper names and titles and stuff like that. Make a history check for me, Galatar, now that you're seeing this. 18. So with an 18,
Uh-huh.
you know that it's certainly Elonian, and you know that it is an antique. It is very old, but more than that, it kind of eludes you. You didn't study Elonian hieroglyphics specifically, but you gather there might be more information about this item's history if you took it to someone who knew Elonian history.
Okay. You said it's like a 2-foot long box. How long was the box? It's rather.
It's about 2 feet long and about 8 inches deep, 8 inches high.
Okay. Cool. I'll make a note of that.
As you unseal these scrolls, you realize that they are not written in Elonian hieroglyphics. They are written in a sort of magical script.
The kind of script I've seen before. Does this seem foreign to anything I've previously studied? Like it's more archaic in nature, I suppose.
I would say that there are Elonian hieroglyphics on it, quite a few, but they seem to be telling some kind of story that you can't read. But in and among them, it's sort of like an illuminated manuscript, has like drawings kind of throughout.
Okay.
This has arcane spells documented.
Gotcha.
So the first one is a scroll of web.
Oh, cool.
The second is a scroll of protection from energy.
Okay.
The third is a scroll of wall of sand.
Hmm.
And the fourth one, which is a little bit more ornate in its wrapping and in its execution, as far as like the art on it goes, is a scroll of arcane gate.
Oh.
All right.
Fuck. That is tight. So you can learn that, can't you?
Yeah.
Wizards.
Now, these are spell scrolls.
Right.
These are not spell books.
No, I would have to take the time to spend the
Transcribe.
And you'd have to, I believe, make a roll
Yeah, I
in
believe
order
as well.
to. Yeah.
Oh, from a scroll. Oh,
And
Yeah.
in fact, what level is Arcane Gate? Level 5?
5, I
I believe
think.
it's level 6.
Oh, is it level 6?
Yeah, it's
I
6.
think you're right. Okay. So I'll have to wait for that because we're not level 6 yet. Or I won't be able to learn it yet.
While we're doing this, just like player, do we want to split up these potions any certain way? Because we always end up with the thing where it's like, who has that potion?
Climbing, diminution, vitality, and then you wanted gaseous form, right?
I would not be opposed to gaseous form, but I have also already had gaseous form. So if somebody else wants to play with gaseous form, they're more than welcome to.
What does potion of vitality do? Does that just help you heal faster?
I think it's about short rests, maybe, and it
That-
does
if
do something else.
If it does do something like short rest, that might be useful because I could regain my spells fast, but otherwise.
But
Brandon doesn't like the taste of potions.
Potion of Vitality removes any exhaustion and cures
Exhaustion.
disease and poisons affecting you.
Oh,
And for
okay.
24 hours, you regain the maximum number of hit dice or hit points on any
I
hit die
see.
you spend. Yeah, apparently, as you shake that and kind of look at it as you're identifying it,
Mhm.
the potion's crimson liquid pulses with a dull light, calling to mind a heartbeat.
I remember now, yeah, because I took a point of exhaustion reading that fucking book at the end of the last campaign.
That's
and then
right, yeah.
drank the potion of vitality to get rid of it.
That's right.
I knew it was familiar for some reason.
Carla, would you want the potion of climbing? You're probably the most likely among us to be climbing for scouting work.
I can already climb.
Oh, well, never mind. You're very talented.
maybe
It's not like
Keytree would like
spider
to
climb, right? It's just climbing.
Oh yeah, I think it just gives you a climbing speed.
Okay. Yeah, I already have a climbing speed.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe Keytree would like that one. That one kind of seems up her alley.
But she can morph.
She can
Oh,
also
she
climb.
also changed. That's, yeah.
Brenna, you would be the
It
next
gives you-
candidate to
It
climb.
also gives you advantage on athletics checks to climb.
Oh, brilliant.
Ooh,
But
I
Brenna,
can-
yeah.
But I can climb too, maybe sometimes.
That way you don't have to rage climb.
I mean, we
I
all
don't
know that
climb.
you can jump very high, but now you could like climb too. If
Yeah,
you
if I gotta climb somewhere, I'm just gonna fly.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll do it. Potion of climb.
More fashionable.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I tell
Take
you
it a
what,
certificate right now.
if nobody else wants it, I'll take the gaseous form. That's just too much fun.
That's fun. Well, I'll take the potion of vitality if nobody else wants it. I can't do much with the diminution.
I mean, I could be even smaller.
What would you become? A tiny creature? If you
Small
were-
to tiny. That would be pretty small.
How big is a tiny creature?
It's between
1/8.
yeah, it's
Like 1/8 of a square.
yeah,
Yeah, instead of being 1/4, which
That
is
would be
small.
like
amazing.
about a
Just
foot tall, I think.
tiny Alexa running around. That would be incredible.
Yeah, I think somebody. Yeah, I think Alexa could be fun to have the diminution one.
But yeah, I'll take the potion of vitality if everybody's okay with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it does cast
Yeah,
reduce,
you'd
essentially.
be half of your size.
Yeah. So it would be
A
tiny.
little over a foot tall.
And then was any of that other stuff magical? Did Alexa detect anything on like the ornate copper chalice or the large
Nope.
gold bracelet with amethyst? Nothing.
Oh, did you get those prices? Do you want those prices?
Oh no, I did not get it.
The chalices, of which there were 8,
Uh-huh.
75 gold.
Okay.
The Assurin bracelet, which I think I'm gonna take because it was geometric, it's 250 gold.
Do you-
The comb that Kala has
Uh-huh.
is 750 gold.
Whew.
Then the scroll box, we don't know, but it is
Yeah.
valuable.
Yeah, I'll invite you with me later to go talk with Grandfather Zombie again. And his cool friend that collects weird shit.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
So, Brenna, how much of our money were you thinking about giving to, just giving away?
So, okay, our money giving to who? No, I'm sorry, I'm being defensive. If you're comfortable splitting it evenly, I'll just take mine. It is fine.
You keep it. Yeah, so together there was roughly what, like little over like 2,100 gold pieces. That would have been about.
Well, there was 1,800. There was 1,800 gold pieces, and then there was actual coinage.
There would
Yeah,
be
no,
2,115 gold pieces between the copper, silver, and gold.
Okay.
Pieces.
2,100 and what?
I will say at the
15.
moment you are still dealing with the weight of these coins.
Right.
Right.
Interesting. The only one who can carry it is me. Call it, be quiet.
Well, yeah, but it's also like if you wanted to give.
I'm in another
also
room. I'm
the
watching
full rack.
Halvar.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's probably
He's
why.
watching
You
him
guys just
sleep.
let the prisoner walk away again.
I was gonna go track him down in a minute.
Like we're
I
taking
respect that.
pretty priceless pieces. I mean, we could give this to Hobrak. I mean, they're going to be helping us fight the dragons. That may be more valuable if they're a better ally than, you know, us having a few hundred extra gold each.
I mean, I will say, it did cost money to prepare for this trip, to,
Yeah.
you know, to do all the. I would at least like to be reimbursed for my expenses.
Aren't you keeping that beautiful silver pitcher and the silk kimono that looks like it's Canton? Which I must tell you, because you cannot
Well-
get these ships to Kanto right now, must be incredibly rare.
Well, no, I mean, I'm sure it is, but I can't spend that. There's a price. I'm keeping them.
Well, yeah, but that's a priceless thing you now possess, you know?
See, Galatar, people come and go, but things are forever.
Absolutely. So we give these stupid gold away that you would have to go to the bank and deal with, and you keep the cool kimono and the pitcher, which looks fantastic.
Right, and what I'm saying is, you know, if I can get out of here with 300 gold, 300
Okay,
gold.
but it really, you spent like 10 to get here, maybe you spent like 25 maybe on cold weather clothing. Those
Right.
look fantastic in the
Yes,
put, must
I
say.
know.
You know?
Uh,
Really, again, a priceless piece that you should
Rena just slowly backs out of the room. and
I'm
is
saying
like,
I can carry about 15 more pounds. So why don't I just top off?
What
And
do you think you take, like, if you want to take
Like a
gold, what
gas
if you
tank.
took about 150 gold pieces?
I'll do
That's
200.
That's almost 10%. Okay, 200 would be 10%.
That is very generous of me too.
It's incredibly magnanimous. You're
Alright.
doing incredible.
I will take 200 gold pieces.
I will be sure that when we get back, all of Hobrak knows how generous you have been to them.
I should hope so.
this
They
skull
will sing.
is-
They will sing tales. These skulls will sing of your.
I'm not a greedy person, and I think
Of
if
course
people
not.
who know me would tell you I'm not a greedy person, but I do want to be compensated for my work. And
I'm sorry.
frankly,
I
it was
promised
a
Roland I would not lie, and I just did.
it was a real bitch to get out here. I mean, we were walking through the snow for like that. I mean, those are days I'll never get back. So
Oh, speaking of getting back, I wanted to propose the idea that if we send Colin our advanced message, I could magically transport everyone immediately back to Lion's Arch tomorrow, and we could just take the gate to
that would be
Hobrak,
preferred. Mhm.
so that we don't have to travel in the cold. 'cause we don't
Oh,
have to
but what about Daisy?
Oh,
fuck
no,
me.
Daisy!
No, yeah, we
Who's
gotta
Daisy?
go.
Oh, the
Who's Daisy?
Oh,
Thank
but
you for
here's-
being on top of that, 'cause I thought of that
Wow.
earlier.
Here's the
That's-
magic. Here's
Honestly.
the magic of what I can do. Let me just
Right, what was-
it.
Who's a
Obviously,
what's it?
remembering
Hold on.
critical team members is not part of that magic.
We get outside, I can cast this spell, and you have 6 seconds to all go into the little magical circle, and everybody, even Daisy, any creature that goes into the circle, teleported to Colinas. We would have to give him advance notice of course, what was going to happen.
Daisy's
But-
like
That's
a
not
day
gonna work.
away. Yeah.
We
She's
could
too
also,
big.
well, no, Alexa could reduce Daisy, let's all be clear.
Feed her the potion of diminution. Good idea.
You're still not gonna fit out of the
Also-
tower. Like,
I could also polymorph Daisy. I mean, there are a lot of options if we're being honest. We're kind of magical creatures.
Why are we bringing another animal home?
Well,
Oh, we bring her home.
Now,
with
Alexa,
us.
we should return Daisy. I think, although we
Yeah, they're
purchased her
meant
for a
for-
fair
Okay,
price.
return. Yes.
Yeah, we'll return her
Okay.
and perhaps get an equal exchange.
As a rental.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it's gonna work, but you can be
He
hopeful.
he liked. Don't worry, Alexa. I'll make it happen. I'll make it all go away. I can be very persuasive.
I'll make it all go away.
I didn't like it very much. Did you want to eat now?
Oh,
I'm
All
gonna-
right, yeah. So we need to get Daisy, and
Well-
I'll consider that part of my compensation because
Okay,
Daisy
great.
was
So
expensive, as I
We'll
recall.
knock you down to
400
150
gold.
gold pieces then. Yeah, perfect.
How
We
much was
split
Daisy?
it.
400.
We split it.
Mm. Oh, so I've only been reimbursed for the yak or whatever the fuck you call Daisy.
Yeah, but it was such a privilege for you to get to spend time with a valuable member of our team, as you have said. So let's knock 50 gold off. We'll call it 150. Good for you, Bert.
I'm
You've
just
done
not
great.
seeing how I
Does
came out on
anybody else
top
want
after this.
150 gold pieces?
My share can go to Holbreck.
Okay, great. Brenna, you want the 150 gold pieces?
No, let us add that to the, what is that now? 300 gold pieces.
Yeah, Alexa?
No, I want my money. To
Okay.
pay for this Daisy we're gonna have to go pick up.
Let me
Exactly.
give
This
you
is valid.
the gold pieces. That way you don't have to deal with all the change. That just seems stupid. You've earned, just the gold.
And who
so
knows
here's
if he's even
150.
going to take her back? I mean, that's
Kala, would you like 150 gold pieces?
I'm good.
Okay.
Whatever. I don't care.
Then out of all that,
I don't
we
need
will
money.
So we would have 1,815 gold to give to Holbreck.
and you're telling me I couldn't take 300?
Yeah,
This is
that what I told you.
outrageous.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with
I
you.
fucking hate it here. These mountains suck.
I
Didn't you
It
pick
is
up like
cold. It is windy. There is no color.
Kala's comb is worth like 750. Your robe's probably 2,000. I mean, look how good it is on you. The cut, you look
I will
fantastic.
never sell this robe.
Exactly, but I'm saying imagine if you had
And it's a
Holbreck. You would be
kimono.
broke to have bought this robe, and now you get it for
Kimono.
free.
God,
Amazing.
didn't you and
Uh,
Alexa pick up some gold
I
in the northern bedroom?
Yeah, they didn't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure we did. I'm sure we did.
230 is what I
No,
wrote down.
I have to step into Birdie's shoes, guys. I'm sorry. He's not a good person by traditional standards.
by any means. What a guy. That is fine with me. Thank you. I appreciate the role's generosity.
Yeah, so give this 1,815 gold to Holbreck.
It is wonderful.
I'm sure they'll probably have to repair a lot of villages and things anyway, I would imagine. They probably also lost a lot of trade with the Sons.
I'm gonna go sit with my brother.
He is sitting at the end of a dining table in these resting quarters, and he has a dark, kind of brooding expression as you walk in. Every now and then he kind of glances up at Kala and just glances back down.
Staring at him.
Getting laser focused. I'll just walk in and sit at the other end of the table. Kala, do you mind if we have a minute? I promise I won't let them murder me.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll go explore up north here.
As you start moving, he's like, "Oh, to be careful. This is the back entrance to the ice cave. There are little elemental creatures in the ceiling. They will attack on sight. We do
Okay.
not go there. We let them stay and feed them occasionally, but they are bad news."
bad news.
I assure you, she can take care of herself.
I'm just gonna sneak in there, see if I can see what these things are.
Make a stealth check.
I'm so here for it.
Oh. 17.
17.
Ooh.
As you step forward, you can kind of see into the cavern now. There are jagged shards of ice that reaching up from the floor in this cave. Like the whole thing, it's like the it's like the Wampa lair on Hoth in the second Star Wars movie, in Empire Strikes
Yeah.
Back. It's just all snow and ice, and there's just big icicles coming up from the ground and from the ceiling as well. And as you sneak your way in there, pawing at the ground closely and quietly, you can just catch the slightest bit of movement as some of these, they look just like icicles to you, but there's just a slight bit of movement every now and then as they kind of twitch in their watchful slumber, as it were. You do see several, like you can kind of make out a
Okay.
handful of them, but you can't see necessarily everything in there.
All right. Well, then I'll leave.
Okay.
After I've seen what it is.
I do think we should clear the rest of the dome before we leave. But also, we did get the good shit.
Halvar at this point says, "Oh shit.
Well,
Would one of you take this?" And he holds the little metal key that he used to open the chest. "If you head back out the way you came, before you reach the shrine cavern where our Yeti lived to protect the shrine, there is a chamber sealed by a boulder. Within, you will find a Jotun held prisoner."
oh,
And he gets this look like, "Oh, like I fucking don't want to talk about this." He says, "We've been starving him to break his will. His companion, Bralgoth, was much more ambitious and eagerly accepted the blessing of Dragon. This other one refused. If one of you would free him and direct him away, I fear he would be too enraged if he were to see me."
I can take care of that. Do Jotun eat meat?
As far as I understand, you don't need anything.
Oh, we're good then.
There is food in the chamber. There is a table laden with our finest succulent food to tempt him.
Hmm.
Here. And he just hands you the key.
Is there anything else in here besides that Jotun and the little ice Furbies?
Not in Drakkevalsigholt proper. Just outside, when you first enter the caverns, Freki and her mate have a den, but it should be empty now. There is another sealed passage. It has the rune for death as a warning. We do not go there. A frostworm broodmother guards her clutch of eggs in that chamber. They are extremely dangerous.
fucking assholes.
Is that
Right, Halvar, did we, with eggs?
We
Plural?
don't need to.
Yes.
We don't.
Now, Bertie, business is business.
When we found there were eggs, we sealed the chamber because the mothers are especially violent.
I glare at Alexa and I'm like, and it would be insane to go up against an ice worm.
It would be
And
if
the
you could turn
eggs.
into a T-Rex.
Now, what would I'm sorry. What's your god Galatar Cornelius Corn
Are you insulting Cormier? My God.
Cormia? That's the one. Sorry. What would Cormia say about
He would say
stealing?
that I'm not stealing. I want to learn more
He's
about the
murdering-
creatures, fight
He's
them, and then do
about the
experiments
gathering
on
of
them.
knowledge, I think.
By murdering the subject? Hmm?
Sometimes that's what taxidermies do. That the people who collect
Like,
insects,
I
they put
want
the
to
little pins in them.
study these animals, so I'll go destroy them.
That
they're
is what they
also
do. They're changing their
menacing animals.
methods lately, but yes.
I don't know. I think you need to pray on that one, son.
I'll think about it hard. I'll really think about the moralistic actions of Bertie lecturing me and how that makes sense. And then
That's
I'll
good.
pray to Cormier for the logic of that. And then Alex and I
Right.
will get magical eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't just leave a dangerous creature alive that
That's
could like
true.
No,
escape and kill people.
But hold, it's where it's supposed to be. It's deep in the mountains in a dark cave somewhere. Like, that's where.
in a potentially important stronghold of defense for the Norn people. Should the dragon's troops come from the north, they may need to be prepared in such a stronghold that once defended their people.
There's nothing
Be mindful
to
of the
defend
history.
up here.
Oh my god.
This is just
Okay,
it's
I've
just
killed
snow.
one before. We can kill one again. Flip a coin. We'll go. Or we
Also,
won't go.
in a serious note to your brother there, Brenna. Would he be able to point out to us the other holds for the Sons of Svanir? Would that be useful information for the lodge?
That is a discussion I am eager to have.
I will share all my knowledge with the Wolfborn of Holbreck. I will answer all of their questions. And your security force, I will speak with anyone who wishes to speak with me.
Security force.
But sister, and he kind of like reaches forward with his human hand and kind of holds yours and just says,
I would not be surprised if the penalty for my crimes is death.
I know. But you have to go back. You have to. Halvar, I told you I will try to forgive you, and I will try. But you have to earn that forgiveness. And so you have to work to rebuild the things that you helped destroy, and they may take that into consideration. This is your choice, okay? You're free to do what you wish at this point, but do not let your shame drive you back to Jormag. Because I am not fucking saving your ass again. Also, the daggers look a lot better. Or shit with an axe.
Not bad with a spear. That reminds me.
and he gets up and he walks over to the far eastern section of this cavern. There's a bit of rock that kind of divides the cavern into two parts. And as he kind of walks over to the other part, Brenna, I assume you follow him.
Yeah.
He goes up to this large, like 2-person size, like California king bed covered with furs in much better condition than the other beds you've seen. And he kind of squats down and reaches underneath it. Let's see. He pulls out a small wooden box, kind of bound with iron. And he says, Steinbeck, I gave the char my key, and he sort of like elbow smashes it, and there's this of frigid gas that kind of erupts from it. You see him sort of wave it away. He just takes a splintered lid and throws it to the side, and he pulls out like an old leather cord. Starts tying it around his neck, and hung from it are several small bone carved figures. You know this. You saw him carve this as a young man. It's figures that represent your family.
I did not want your friends to find it and take it. Not that it's worth anything to anyone but me, and perhaps you.
Perhaps. I am glad you are back. And I do not wish for you to pay that penalty, but it is better to live. Well, it is better to live, period. But it is better to die with honor than live in shame. So.
Agreed.
But to go back, because Mama does miss you.
Before my death, I will assuredly see Mama and Papa at least once. But come, perhaps your friends would like some of this. And you can see that there are a couple of crates on that northern wall, just between you and him. And he cracks one open, just grabs it with his clawed, icy hand and just rips the top off. Pulls out 4 bottles of what look like very expensive wine. He said, call your musical friend. I think he will enjoy this. It's elderberry brandy. Quite good, very sweet, very, very strong.
No, my friends will definitely enjoy this. Bertie!
Hmm?
Have present for you.
Oh, really? What do we have?
Another kimono.
It's another kimono. I just crack open a bottle of wine and sit at the table, and I just sit at the table.
Yep. There are a couple of clean mugs laying around. And he starts to pull over other crates, rips
I'll
the
take
lids
one
off.
of the copper chalices from our hall and kind of like dust it out with my shirt.
Guys, if we're going to drink and party, perhaps a couple of us should go free that Jotun first.
I'm-
and,
I'm
just let
already-
them- Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you're already gone.
I've been going since,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Paul is the only one who is like
Paul is
half
gone. I
oriented.
didn't even
Yeah.
notice. That woman
So-
So this entire fucking crew.
is just gone.
I will drag you up there.
Yeah, I'm having trouble
directly.
moving my token.
Sorry, it's being real glitchy. Yeah, it's just kind of freezing. But eventually, you make your way up there. With your size, it takes you a second because no one's with you. But you are able to kind of wedge this boulder and scoot it along the floor. And you see, at first, you see a table. It's about 5 feet long, about 3.5 feet wide. There's a torch above it, and it's just illuminating this feast that has been laid out. It's a little cold at this point, but you can smell like fresh bread, and there's cooked meat, and there are like grapes, and it's a really impressive fare. And as you turn the corner at the north end, you see this enormous muscular Jotun chained both hands to the wall and sort of sagged down to his knees, staring at the food and breathing heavily and kind of drooling a little bit. And as you enter the room, he says,
Boloshai.
Do you speak common?
looks confused. He says,
Foslan hai voth zuu.
Then I'll try char and say probably not char then either.
he strains at his chains.
Stig zu. Stig zu.
I will show him I have the key.
Stig. Stig.
And he's
And-
pulling at the chains.
Yes. Yeah, I'll walk closer slowly.
Watches you very intently.
Should have brought like a head of one of the guys I killed, but
As you get
Stay
very
right here.
close, he leans forward and says,
Fenthos not. Svanir.
and you can hear like a venom in his voice.
no, Svanir. Svanir dead.
Kaima.
And then I will undo one of his hands,
Stig.
and if he seems okay, then I'll undo the other one.
You see, like he flexes his wrist and like rolls his meaty fist around, shakes off the pain, and is like eagerly kind of pulling at the other end.
Stig zu.
I'll undo that one too, and then like step out of the way so we can go get the food.
As you unlatch the final chain, he says,
Kent filok nahav difron. Darmus lo sinzal. Mokdova kwarnarnin.
and he leans down and just sort of like thumps you on the head a little bit, and just sort of like shuffles past you, grabs like 2 fistfuls of food and just starts like stuffing his face. And he's just not paying attention to you at all.
Good for him.
All right, I'll just kind of hang out for a minute. Then
College
see,
hangs
like-
out with everyone.
Every now and then, like after he gets 2 or 3 mouthfuls and swallows, you can see like he continues to eat, and every now and then like he kind of turns his gaze to you to look at you, and then just continues to stuff his face. After a moment, he kind of like puts both hands down on the table and takes a deep sigh. He lets out this loud belch, and then he turns to you, and he says,
Ke Vostok Bralgoth.
I don't know what any of that means, right?
I think
I told her that the name of that guy was Raugoth that we killed.
so I think you might have heard
Yeah.
that the other
Other one,
creature you killed was named Bralgoth.
Bralgoth, also dead.
Bralgoth.
He Svanir. Bralgoth Svanir.
Gruth zu difron. Rock Kilgag. Thova Roklos Vokur. Bralgoth Tinvak Nin Balokzu. Salo Sulekzu Ah. Takes another mouthful and chews it for a second.
So bring me the
Puz Kaizal. He just makes a gesture and then he turns and heads out the door, and you see him kind of look both ways and then head out the exit, stepping over the bodies. As you watch, like he steps over a couple and goes, huh. And then you kind of hear, ah, Fentos Nalok. And you hear a,
Yeah,
and then
I
just
kind of
his
follow to
footsteps
see what he's
receding.
doing.
By the time you reach where Bralgoth fell, he is turning the corner, having exited the chamber, and you see that Bralgoth's head is just a mess on the floor.
Alright. So it looks like he's leaving.
Yeah, he's out the door and gone.
Alright, I'll run back to everybody else then.
Okay. I'm so glad you went there. I worked very hard on that language stuff.
I was gonna say, it's super
Wish
cool
I still
that
had
you
that
just have the
staff.
whole language.
Right?
Love
I was
that.
like,
I
That was really
used-
cool.
I used a lot of dragon speak from Skyrim
oh my
I am
god.
also.
because it sounds very crazy.
It does. I'm also really glad that nobody went who could possibly have tried to understand him, because I just
I know.
enjoyed listening to you speak that language the whole time.
Well, Brenna would have spoken it. He was speaking giant.
Sorry.
No, better that you didn't go. We got that.
Right,
language.
that's the point.
Ryan speaking that language.
It was fucking rad. I was like,
So you
bring me
guys
hugs.
eventually are all gathered in this place of rest. There are 4 bottles of fine elderberry wine, and there are 3 kegs on the south wall near a black bear hide on the floor, full of cold, refreshing ale. And there are more barrels of ale, so it's up to you how much you drink and how much you party in celebration of this.
So I walk back into the room with the prisoner and they're all drunk.
Yes.
I mean, not
Well,
necessarily.
You've only been
Teacher's
gone
not drinking
for...
anything.
Okay. Yeah, you've only been gone like 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 if you sat and watched him eat and then followed him a
5
little bit,
drinks.
but- yeah, so
1 drink every 3 minutes.
I would say that there is at least 1 open bottle of wine. It's up to you to please tell me now how much you are drinking.
I'm drinking a fair amount, but before I do, I want to go to Alexa. I just kind of privately say, look, I'd like to kind of mess with Bertie and give him a hard time, but I don't really want to go fight the Froststorm if we don't have to. We kind of have other things that may be a bit more pressing. But if you feel like it is a necessity, I will accompany you to kill it. But I will leave that up.
Next week's adventure, Alexa and Galatar fucking blasted and go and take on an ice farm. Please.
Let's just get
murder an
really
endangered
drunk.
species.
Please.
I mean,
No, I want that.
Wait, doesn't Alexa also have polymorph?
no.
Oh, okay.
I'm purposefully not taking it.
2 T-Rexes take on a Froststorm.
I mean, we really do need the eggs for some magic items, but
Okay,
I mean,
maybe
if
we're here. I don't want to kill it if our only purpose is for like selfish reasons. But if we have a just cause for killing it, I'm all for it. It just goes against my code of.
I mean, we would be using it just for ourselves, I suppose. But I don't know. If
What a
I
moral
want to go for
quandary.
it, but
As long as
I
we're not
understand your
doing it-
point.
As long as we're not doing it just for ourselves, I will gladly help. I just sort of created.
I mean, I don't want to necessarily just get eggs and sell them. I want to get the eggs and use them
Right.
and make something that we can help ourselves in the future with.
So Kala walks in. You guys have like
Yeah.
busted out the wine. She's just like, really? But
Paula, it's a celebration. Come, have a drink. Have a drink.
we have a prisoner like you're supposed to keep an eye on, and it's like
I
you
mean-
guys
Miss
don't know how to take
Charwoman.
prisoners.
Kala.
Halvar says, Miss Char, lady person,
Oh, that is not smart.
you do not need to fear. I will not harm you.
Is Halvar also drinking?
It's the principal, really, more than.
He
This
has
is a recurring
chalice.
problem with them.
All right, let's get Halvar drunk, and then we'll
I should
be
say a
safe.
mug. He has a mug. Yeah, but he does not have the elderberry wine. He's got some ale.
Paula, relax. It's gonna be fine.
Do you
We're just
remember every other prisoner we've taken that then escaped and tried to kill us?
how many prisoners have we taken that have escaped and
Well,
tried to kill us?
I guess like first we was like not me, but like 3. I don't know.
Name them, please, because I do not
I
recall
don't-
any of these.
I also don't take names.
Well, there was
Honestly,
Minister
probably
Zamon's
good to
son
check
who
on
we
the
did
team.
capture, and then he got his brain taken over, and I guess he did try to kill us then. But it wasn't really his fault.
Oh yeah, and the Tim guy.
Oh, well,
That also
also
takes
not
some
brain
Tim
brains.
wasn't
control.
our fault.
Brain
That's
control, kind of out of Tim and Zamon's sons. But
And then
they
there were
did
like
attack
2
us.
Char that also there were
Yeah.
issues.
That did happen too.
Yeah.
look. I think Halvar, Mr. Halvar,
Mr.
Is-
Icy.
is reasonable enough to know that it would not end well should he try to kill us, kind of deal. I think we're gonna be fine. I'm just gonna have one glass of wine, just one glass of wine.
One more.
No, just I'm nursing this one, thank you.
That is dead.
Also, brother, if you call her Miss Char Lady again, I think she'll take that pretty ice hand of yours clean off. So, just
May I
FYI.
call you Kala?
Yeah, that's fine.
Very well.
I don't think I've done actual introductions. We were too preoccupied with whether or not we would live or die.
I heard
Um,
the singer man say Kala's name
Yes.
just now.
Well, yes, way to go, powers of observation, you dumb nuts. It has been a minute since I fought with you. I don't remember silly names. This is Bertie. He is the Skald. He's very good at singing, very flamboyant taste in all things in life. This
Clearly.
is Galitar. He is wizard. Knows a lot about like a book, and this is Kitri, and she is beautiful and made of flowers and will kick your butt. And this is Alexa, and she can fly and set everything on fire. These are the friends that I have made since I have left home.
Looking at you, Alexa, he says, "You are much more formidable than your size would lead one to believe."
I appreciate that.
And he turns to Kitri. "And you, young one, your people I am most curious about. I have not faced you in battle yet."
Be glad maybe that you haven't.
Perhaps. You are all much stronger than I gave you credit for. But I am grateful. You have broken the dragon's hold on me.
Is
I-
the ice still on him?
Yes.
Can I look at his, if he would let me, well, I'll just ask, may I look at your arm for just a second?
He kind of looks down and holds it out.
Yeah, I just want to kind of look at it for like any experience that I have with, ice-based magics or anything to just see if this looks.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay, that's what I
Can I help him with that? Give him advantage.
Sure, yeah. The two of you kind of like look over it together and consult.
Yeah, I want to notice
we
he's
will be
checking it out.
ending here in just momentarily.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Where's our con? Oh, there it is.
30. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, as you guys are discussing this is dragon corruption. It is not an armor spell. It is not a temporary transformation. It is a fundamental infection
Like
of a magical
alteration,
nature.
like on a cellular.
Yeah, it's
cellular
deeper than
level almost.
transmutation. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's nothing superficial about it. You could potentially cure it. It is magical, but so far there's nothing that you're aware of that can
So-
reverse dragon
Did
corruption.
the
Like a
bodies of
wish
his
spell.
friends remain like? Did the ice remain on them after we killed them, or did it melt after they died? The ice brood.
The other ice brood are still icy colored. Yeah, the
Yep.
the thick rime of frost kind of thawed, but there is a sort of hardness to their skin and a kind of iridescence, like little flecks of ice in it.
Then as they're examining Galataros, perhaps we could get some samples that we could take back to try and figure out if there's a way to break this. It might be worth the research. Perhaps
Along
we
with
could
a
break
frostworm
Jormag.
egg. It could be the key.
It might be, I guess. Because if we could break Jormag's thing, maybe we could break all the dragons' things.
So you said this is like an infection? Is this something? Can I do a
After
check
fashion.
of like would this like would a lesser restoration cure something like
This is not a disease. It is
or a
it is
condition?
magic that behaves
Okay,
as an infection.
gotcha.
So it's just altered him on, like,
Greater,
fundamental cellular.
It is like integrated into
Yeah.
him.
Okay.
Would a medicine check give us any more like information about it, or no? Okay.
It is firmly in the realm of Arcana.
Mm.
So, you guys have a little bit of celebration. Lay down for a good long rest. Do you post a watch?
I
I'll
try.
definitely drink like 3 glasses of wine. I'm having fun. Before I want to blast.
So, who is gonna sit watch?
You
I'll take a watch.
I'll also sit watch.
Yeah, I'll take a
Okay.
watch.
All right. So who? Let's see. What order do you go in?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Take second.
Second.
I can
Or
go
I'll go-
third. Or
yeah,
do you want to?
then it doesn't matter.
Either way. I'll go third.
Okay. So you guys lay down for a snug evening. Halvar just kind of curls up on one of the furs on the floor to make room. He didn't want to take up a bed. Nothing attacks you during the night. Kitri and Kala, for your passive perception, you do occasionally hear a sort of tinkling chime as the ice creatures in the cave to the north kind of shift about in the night, but none of them come to bother you. All of you who keep watch notice that Halvar sleeps very fitfully, kind of tossing and turning. And he actually wakes up, Brenna, when you awake. It's a strange thing. Kala, when you go to wake Brenna, as soon as Brenna sits up, Halvar does too. It's almost like the one waking woke the other. But it's not a sudden start. It's just they both wake up, they sit up, and you watch as Halvar kind of goes over to the table and digs out like a parchment and a quill and starts to scratch out letters. So Brenna, as you're kind of sitting watch, sitting at this table, he's sets a mug of ale down and says, "Hardly watered down. It won't dull your senses." He says, I'm writing my letters to Mama and Papa, to White Bear and the Wolfborn. I do not want to die, but it is not fair that I should live for what I've done. I've killed many people. Many who did not deserve it. Many who did not fight back. I have dishonored myself, my people, the spirits. He leans forward. I will return to Holbrak. I would like to release Freki. sits back and he finishes his letters. And it takes an hour or so. You got about an hour left in your watch, and he kind of pushes himself back up from the table and stretches, takes a deep drink, says,
Would you mind if I took Freyke outside and let her go? I don't want your friends to make a deal of it or argue.
You're not coming back.
I give you my word. I will return to Holbrook and face my judgment.
I know. Hertha told me before we left for Svanir Stone, we spent a day or two at the Great Lodge. I sat by the lake and asked for any guidance at all. And what do you know? Who shows up? Hertha, full regalia, looking very, very fancy. And she told me that love is a powerful magic. And that is true. So I'm trusting you to believe in that as well. And come home. But go do what you need to now.
he looks at you, and a tear falls from his human side, rolls down his face, and does not freeze. Leans forward slowly, reaches out a hand, gives you like a quick kiss on the cheek, undoes the cord, and hands you the necklace with the bone figures of your family.
I will get this back from you.
Good.
He walks south out of the cavern. You hear him say something briefly to the wolf, and then you hear their footsteps recede.
Just sit at the table.
Okay.
Colin's gonna be so disappointed.
Cole's gonna be so fucking pissed. Cole's already awake. She's like,
Paul already threw a dagger in his back as he walked away.
Wake up
Oh, burn.
in the cold, the dark, refreshed, invigorated, healed, and at level 10.
Oh, shit.
a surprise.
We will cut it here tonight, and when we resume, we will trek back to Holbrook. and
After a nice
maybe
worm
or
fight.
Maybe not fight the worm, depending on what you guys decide.
We just had a long rest. We're totally fucking up the worm. Come on, guys.
Motherfuckers.
Right.
As long as we're not doing it for selfish reasons.